Alright, so since this truck sat for years upon years, and I have no idea what color the stuff is in there. It sort of has a gray look to it. I'm not sure. The thermostat's not been opening anyways, or not been closing, I should say. It's hung open. We're going to change the thermostat. This is just a stock unit, 192 degrees, or apparently 89 degrees Celsius for those of you who are not in America. Super easy to change. You just follow the upper radiator hose. Boom, right there. We're going to remove the air cleaner, and everything should be super easy to get to. We're going to go ahead and remove that, and then take these bolts out. After we get the old thermostat out, we're going to clear the coolant out. Now, because this has no drain that I can find, I'm going to remove right down there the lower radiator hose, and I think I'm going to remove it from the radiator rather than the water pump, because I am worried about being under it and all that coolant just splashing upon me. So I think I'm going to do it from up top. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so from right here, we're just going to take this air cleaner off. This great big old tube barrel. Make sure you get all of your vacuum lines removed. Some of these have like 4 or 5. This one only has 3. So only 3 vacuum lines, and it comes out. And then right here are your 2 bolts. Follow your radiator hose. It's right there and right there. Got some vacuum lines hanging off the carburetor. We're going to be sure to watch out for those. So if you can see, which that's in the way, right there, this is a little vacuum line. Let me slide this over so you can see it. This is in your way here. Just take it up, pull it out the way. Be sure you put that back. 2 13mm bolts on this one, and they are snugged in there. I'm gonna have to get some PB blaster on these jokers. So at this moment in time, you take this old thermostat out. Look at that joker. That thing looks gross. And it looks like paper. I'm not sure. This thing doesn't even have a gasket on it. It's just grossness sitting there. That is disgusting. I had to remove this, and it looks like somebody put RTV on it or something. That doesn't look like. That is gross. In any case, clean this up. Go ahead and get your new Napa thermostat. I went to Napa because it was cheaper. Take your Napa thermostat, slide it down in your hole there. Clean out all your stuff. Put you a gasket in there. And what I like about Napa, I really like about them, got this little tear tab on there. Y'all see that? That little tear tab. Let's poke this out. Got that awesome little tear tab so you can hold it. Set it down in there. Now, I've messed up. I have messed up royally. So let's put these back together, and I'll show you how I messed up. This moment in time, put your gasket down. Put this down, and you tighten your bolts up after you tear your little tear tab off. Let me find my bolt. And you tighten your bolts down, and you're all the way done after that. Of course, you put your cap back on. I, however, have much bigger issues than have been previously talked about, and you may run into this issue yourself. I'm not sure if this is picking up on camera. That is a broken bolt. There's the top of it. I now have to get this out because it broke. So I am not done. Those of you who did not break your bolt, you are done. I, however, am not done. there's no need in me flushing it because I'm going to have to take it all back apart anyways. Alright guys, not sure if that's picking up. I had to drill that joker out. This is actually about 3 days after when I started. That thing was a pain in the bottom hind end. Had to take part of the linkage to the carburetor off. I'll have to reinstall that, but drilled that out. I wanted to go ahead and get a quick video of it before we went on ahead and flushed the rest of the system, and I will do another video when I tap this, or add this to this video I should say, whenever I tap that in. I just got to make sure all my stuff goes back together how I took it apart. Should have took the AC unit off. That's coming later, but alright, up next I'm going to flush all the coolant out and then get ready to put new coolant in. Alright, so now that I've made a good mess, I don't know if you can see that's metal sort of hanging around in the coolant. It's definitely got some shavings in it. I have also gone ahead and sanded the housing as well as the manifold where it goes in. What we're going to do now, right down there, is the upper radiator hose. We're going to go ahead and loosen it. I'm sorry, that's the lower radiator hose. We're going to go ahead and loosen that. I would do it from the water pump, which is about right there, but we're not going to because I don't want to be covered in green or whatever color is about to come out at me. So I'll do this lower radiator hose here, and then I'll take it off there. And what we're going to do is we're going to clean out the radiator from here as well as through the upper radiator hose. So let's go ahead and undo those. Alright, so I'm not sure if you can tell or not, there's a bucket underneath me to hopefully catch some of this mess. Let's go ahead and pull this hose off. All this is a Phillips head. Well, that was a huge mess. Let's take a look at what we got. Alright, so as you can see, maybe it's picking up, maybe it's not. There's definitely some corrosion going on in the radiator. It's still sort of dripping down there, just right there. Not too bad. Here's why we kept the thermostat out of it while we did this. This is now empty. All that grossness in there, I don't know if that's picking up or not. It's pretty gross. We're going to take a hose and we'll spray that mess out of there. Clean it up a little bit. So we're going to spray a hose through the thermostat and also through the radiator. And we do not want to get it in the carburetor since the old carburetor is uncovered at this moment in time. So let's go and get us a hose. So all we're going to do here, spray the water in there, and this is not on fire hydrant mode or nothing like that. This ain't real fast. Whoop! It does got a lot of air in it though. It is loud. That looks a lot better. Alright, so now comes the fun part. The thermostat. Yay! Or at least where it went. I'm doing it the way I'm doing it to keep the water from splashing into the carburetor. So I've already got one vacuum line off. I just don't want to get any water in there. So I am holding the spigot as close as I can. Trying to get all these little metal shavings out. Remember, I sanded over here. It's looking much better. Get all the stuff out that sort of went in there, because a lot of metal shavings went in there whenever I had to drill this bolt out here. But let's just give it a couple more squeezes. Alright, so we're doing the same thing through the upper radiator hose. So it's now time to go ahead and reattach everything. We're going to go ahead and put the lower radiator hose back up together. It's not the hardest to do, but go ahead and be sure you get your clamp. This guy right here, be sure you get it with that facing up, because if you don't and you put it facing down, you're going to have an issue, or you're just going to have to redo it all together. Let me tighten it back down. I think that's actually on there tight. Alright guys, so since we have drilled this hole out, cleaned everything up, we're going to go ahead and fill everything up with water in here. We're going to put the coolant, of course, in the radiator, but we're going to put everything, fill this up with water. Eagle-eyed viewers will note I had to remove the AC to do this. That bolt was not the easiest to get out. So all I'm going to do is use this cup here, put the spring down, and it fits in pretty good. Like I said before, I like the tear tabs on these Napa gaskets. Just going to take it off, set my gasket down in there, line it up just so. And this actually has an adhesive, so it'll sort of stick down there. I'm gonna put this on there, put our bolts on. I bought new bolts instead of using those old ones, mainly cause, you know, I needed to get that done. Gonna go ahead and put the bolts on, and then we'll pick it up after that. All right, so before we fill the radiator up, we are going to take the upper radiator hose off, pour some water down in it to sort of get some on the thermostat. Try not to make too big of a mess. The goal is to have as little air in the system as possible. So let's get this back hooked up, because if we can get air out, we're doing good. All right, so without making too big of a mess, we're gonna fill this joker up. I'm just using concentrate. It's from Walmart. It's the green stuff. Truck came originally with the green stuff. I'd prefer it stayed the green stuff. Go ahead and fill it up. And it's probably going to burp a little bit, sort of push itself up and down. You're going to have air in the system, but that's why we filled the upper radiator hose like we did. The goal is to not have air in the system, but it's going to happen. Alright, so because this job took 2 weeks and everyone loves a cold start, let's do the mother of all cold starts. See how long it takes for this carbureted 2.8 to start. Wow, I am actually impressed that that's all it took. That is awesome. Let's check for leaks. All right, so as you can see, everything looks great. We have pressure in the top line. I'm gonna continue to check for bubbles, because of course there's gonna be air in this thing because we flushed it, so we're gonna continue to monitor that. And that is how you do it. So just in case anyone wanted to know what all I used to do this. Breaker bar. Of course the cup was to fill it up with water. Various Torx bits. A little ratchet got the carburetor off. These adjustable wrenches and pliers helped with the AC. The sandpaper was to get the old gasket off of the thermostat housing. The Sharpie was to mark where I was going to use these guys. Those are the taps that I use, various taps in that box that I used right there. That's the one I actually ended up going with. Here is another ratchet with an extension. There's a big one up there for the AC. Of course, I had to get out the big impact for the AC unit as well. This thing right here goes with the taps. Of course, the drill to drill it all out. Various drill bits up there. I had to start with the smallest size and work my way down in order to drill out what was left of that. And of course I replaced this one as well. And here is the old thermostat. The one cause for all of these tools. For all of these tools to be used. That is the one cause for everything. Alright, hope you liked it. Hope it helps. Thank you much.